I'm so excited to invite my friend Karine today on the show. We're going to be having a little tarot talk, a little bit more on the side of career. So we haven't really had this topic yet. So I'm really excited to see a little bit more about Karine's journey and some advice that she has for all of you as you're anticipating the next 5 to 9 years or so of your career journey. Karine, I would love to invite you to kind of give a little introduction of what you're up to, and yes, please share.
Hi, Samantha. It's been a while. Um, I am a pharmacist with a small startup company called Santosha Health, which is a remote telepharmacy company. And it's in Glendale. I get to work from home, which is awesome, and talk to patients in their own comfort of their home and talk about their medications, lifestyle, and I offer them advice and then recommendations about the medications and over-the-counter uh, vitamins and supplements. I recently transitioned into this new company after spending, 20 some odd years in the hospital field working with patients and physicians, so much more intense. I'm very grateful for that experience. It made me the clinician I am today, but I felt it was time to pivot towards patient care. So that's where we're at. On top of that, on weekends and when I have a little spare time, I am the CEO of My Getless Treats, which is my own company. I make desserts, and desserts are Italian inspired panna cotta desserts that are similar to flan, but I make it different. I make it special with a little adjustments to the recipe. They're healthier. So the same flan like dessert is now something you can have every day, and it won't cause the sugars to spike up. It has a lot of protein. It's soy free, gluten free, nut free. Um, and so a lot of people do enjoy it. I sell a lot at farmers market, stores, online, and direct to consumer. So that's my baby right there. Um, that's my two major things I'm doing right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
but
and they're delicious. I want to add that in there. They're so delicious.
Thank you. You've been a very big supporter from the beginning and have always
Yes.
purchased them and enjoyed them. Thank you very much for
Oh
that.
my goodness, yes. The chocolate ones, I could just eat those
Yeah.
whole. It's so
And the
good.
chocolate's vegan. I made that for the
Yes,
vegan population, and it's everyone
right,
else is eating them. It's pretty funny.
right,
It's three
right,
products, just three ingredients. So I'm glad it worked out
right.
for everyone.
Absolutely. So as you were going, I kind of just mute myself and I was pulling some cards for you so that we can get on to the next questions.
Okay.
But I feel like this would be a good one. So I got the Queen of Pentacles here. I think as we're talking about preparing for our careers and those journeys, I would actually love to hear a little bit about how you decided that you were kind of going to go that more entrepreneurial route and create your own business. I was Can
Mm,
you think back to any maybe moments where you're like, I really want to create something on my own, or maybe you saw something you were like wanting to see?
yes, there is.
Yeah,
Obviously, embarking
yeah.
on a business is not something for the faint of heart. It's
Right.
very hard, a lot of work. No
Hmm.
joke. You don't make money for a long time, and it's so much work. You almost wonder, is it worth it? And honestly, like 20 years ago, if you said, "Oh, Korean, you're going to be a CEO of this company," I'd be laughing in your face. There's no way. I'm very happy working in the basement of the hospital. There's no joy in having your own company or even selling, you know, makeup or whatever, on the side or Tupperware. But I got frustrated near maybe 10 years ago talking to a diabetic. Very frustrating because diabetics, they have that problem, the metabolic problem of sugar control, and no matter how much drugs you give them, no matter how much insulin you give them, they're still going to come back to the hospital with more problems because they haven't done one thing. They haven't changed your diet and they probably
Right.
didn't exercise. It's like the two easy things you do for free, they don't. And I don't blame them. I'm very
Right.
empathetic to the whole I don't want to work out thing and I don't want to eat kale and quinoa. And I get that. I don't either. I'm not a hypocrite. And I don't want to tell my patients to eat this and that one. Even I don't.
Right.
So, anyways, frustrated with that part of pharmacy and the fact that I couldn't offer anything to the patients at discharge except more insulin. So when I was on maternity leave, I was writing my book. I was actually writing a book and publishing it
Yeah.
during this
Yeah.
period. And by the way, the book is the first fiction pharmacy novel ever created. So it's yeah,
Right.
I'm pretty. It's like 50 Shades of Grey with House
Yeah.
of God. So there's a lot
Yeah.
of sex there with a pharmacist in the middle.
Right.
It's very, very uh, raunchy, but seductive and
Yeah.
erotic.
Yeah.
I'm proud of that. My parents not so much, but I'm proud of that. But anyway, so here I am writing my book,
Yeah.
breastfeeding it the way, doing all the
Yeah.
things, multitasking. And I had a friend who had this idea to make like special supplements for people who work out with the idea to increase the protein content and lower the sugar content. Now, I am
Mhm.
not a fitness buff, so this is like a whole new world to me. But she
Right.
introduced me to this world. I thought, wow, what a great idea. But the health world is the supplements are made of erythritol, they're made out of like artificial colors or sweeteners. They don't taste great. It tastes very medicinal. Look
Mhm.
at every keto product you have. They're low in sugars, which is great, but they're high in
Right.
sugar alcohols or high in like, artificial preservatives and flavors. So that wasn't my jam. Um, but she had a good point though. If we can give this to diabetics, wouldn't that be helpful? And I thought, yes, it would be.
Yeah.
Over time, she left, but I never let go of the company. I never let it go. I was like, no, it's like hanging on to a lottery ticket that you know it's going to win. Like you just don't want to let it go,
Yeah.
right? And it's
Yeah.
like if you don't play, you can't win. If I don't do this, I will never win. I cannot continue complaining about the lack of healthcare resources for diabetics if I'm going to give it up. If I
Right.
don't do this, who's going to do it? So,
Right.
and also the only reason for me to not do it is because I'm lazy, and I hate the word lazy. It's a silly word, right?
Yeah.
So when you ask me, 5 years ago when I incorporated, hey, Karine, would you continue this? I go, yeah, I would, because there's no reason not to. There's so many people who
Right.
benefit from it, people who just go, OMG, this is amazing. Like, you love it,
Right.
tastes great, and you're healthy. You don't have to worry about the health benefits. But for everyone else that has cancer, who can't have,
Yeah.
their dairy products because they're allergic or they're vegan,
Mhm.
I love it. And on top
Yeah.
of that, people with diabetes, they find it, they're like, all over it. So believe it or not, half my customers are people who buy from their mom and dad who have diabetes. They're stuck in nursing homes
Yeah.
and they can't eat good
Right.
food except for
Right.
little jello cups. So this is like a taste of Italy in their mouth or a taste
Yes.
of tropical paradise in their mouth at their nursing home. So it's a great product. And I felt if I stopped today, oh my gosh, I would be doing disservice to everyone around me, all because
Right.
I'm lazy. And I'm not lazy. I've never been lazy, and this was a lazy
Right.
move. And I think I'll be disappointed in myself. That's why I kept going and kept growing and growing. And what I know, it's easier. I get to like push myself to the limit. Like, let's see if I can
Mhm.
file a patent. Let's see if I can do a trademark. Let's see if
Yeah.
I can file my own taxes. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and yes.
Yes, yes.
If I can't do it, I'll hire someone. But you know,
I love that. And I feel like this goes into the next one, which is kind of this one is the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. So this makes me want to ask more about that hard work, that dedication that goes into what you're looking to achieve or to create, which can be the businesses, but also you guide a lot of people on their journeys, especially in the pharmaceutical realm of medicine. You're going through all this schooling, and then now you're, creating this amazing dessert business on the side. What advice do you have for people when they're just kind of balancing where their energy and attention goes, and how do you even stay focused on doing one thing?
I think we have to look at our career like a husband. That husband or partner cannot be our everything. Like if you look at your job, your 8 to 5 job, as your everything, like your best friend, your moneymaker, your the channel that makes you happy, like your intimacy channel, your chemistry. Yeah, you're gonna be very disappointed. No husband or person in the world can fit that void. No job in the world can fit that void. So for me in the beginning, my job as a hospital pharmacist was OMG. Like I am feel empowered, I'm autonomous, I have money from there, I have health benefits. But do I have friends? No. Was I fulfilled? Not so much. Was I happy? Yeah, up until like maybe up to 8 hours. And if that I was just I'm tired, you
Right.
know, and I wasn't taking care of myself health wise. I was very pale. I was skinny, but in a bad way. So I wasn't taking
Mm,
care of myself. And I would put all my energies towards this money making job that wasn't giving me
right.
any fulfillment. After like, I would say 10 years, I literally felt the burnt out. But I,
Right.
so felt the burnt out. And at that point, I was like, just, I'd go to work, but I'd be like, trying to like make friends at work, go have
Right.
long
Right.
lunches.
Yeah.
I would delegate my projects to my students,
Mhm.
and if I had a meeting coming up, I just let's just copy and paste. How about that? It's like
Right.
I cheated and I became lazy and I didn't care if I got in trouble. I was like, whatever, like
Mhm.
I became disillusioned. Like this is no longer fun for me. I didn't look for another job, but I felt like there's got to be more to life than this. I no longer wanted to retire there. I no longer want to be make that my thing. Like,
Yeah.
Green Wall, live and die as a pharmacist. No,
Yeah.
no, that's no good. um, so now what I do is, yeah, I still work as a pharmacist, but I'm able to scale back the hours or do it to what
Mhm.
I feel is comfortable, what I need to do. So if someone needs me right away, sure, I'll spend the time that you need. But next
Right.
day, I'm taking a day off. I'm going to spend time on my company or write my new book and do what I like. And sometimes what you like
Right.
doesn't have to make money. I think that's a
Right.
problem with our culture, especially
Mhm.
Asians. If you're doing
Mhm.
something, it better
Yeah.
have revenue. And you know what? That's old
Right.
school.
Right.
You can wish that all you want, but you're going to be pretty tired and aged and fatigued and disgruntled. You know, so who
Right.
cares if you have a Tesla? Who cares if you have a nice house? You're unhappy. What's the point of
Right.
that?
Right.
So I'm
Yeah.
happier because we work hard and I get to spend my days with the patients I want to spend time with, and I get to work from home, which I love, to time with the kids. So it's nice balance. Am I making tons and tons of money? Yeah, nor
Right.
I don't care to. So that's the balance right there is to, yeah, go to work, but don't make it your everything. And
Mhm.
then when you come home, always take the 1 or 2 hours instead of watching TV or Facebook surfing. Um, focus on what you want to do. If you always want to buy a book,
Right.
write the book. If you always
Right.
want to be a comic or an actor, go audition. There's nothing to stop you at this point.
Right, right. Oh my goodness. See, such great advice.
Thank you.
Right? And it's funny that you're kind of just going right into the next cards that I have.
You
With
are
this,
psychic.
yeah. With this page of cups, this one can also be like a lot of times I feel like we get these little nudges or we get these voices in our head that tell us there's something more fulfilling that's right over there. But a lot of times we don't know how to listen and actually do and follow what seems to be more emotionally fulfilling. Do you have any advice that's more related to that? Like, how do we kind of sift through all that noise and clutter and really just follow that gut feeling that we have that there's something more fulfilling in another activity or a side project or a side passion or something like that?
Are you saying that there's a lot of things out there, but you don't know what happens if the person doesn't know what they want to do?
Right. Or sometimes, let's just say, for example, somebody is watching a show and they're like, I'm feel like I would really love to be in a band and play music on the weekends. Like, but then you get all of that noise saying, oh, but I'm not going to have time. Am I going to be able to dedicate? Am I going to be good enough? Like, how do we sift through all that noise and just go towards those passions, like writing that book or creating a dessert,
Oh,
when we're so bogged down by all of the duties and the things we have to do according to society?
yes. Okay. So I hear your question now. The best way to approach it is this. Go back to the days when you were 8, 9 years old. Like close your eyes and go back and think, what did you like to do? What because when you're a kid, when you have no final exams, no kids, no marriage, right? You're just a kid, you're most free. When you're a baby, you don't know not enough stuff. But when you're 8, 9, 10 years old in school, I'm sure you had a hobby, whether it's collecting Pokemon cards or running or swimming or gymnastics, right? All that stuff. And then we have school. And then we forget. We put it on the back burner,
Mhm.
and then we have professional school, vocational school, and then we have jobs, marriage, and then all that stuff that you did as a kid was something we did as a kid. And actually, those things that you did when you were 8, 9, 10 years old is your jam. That's your passion. So whether it's singing, um, go back to it. So let's suppose I'll take you for example, Samantha.
Yeah,
Okay, you
yeah,
were a 9-year-old girl
yeah,
playing with your hopscotch, and you're like playing
yeah,
around with your friends, but you like to sing songs from like Nickelodeon or Disney
yeah,
shows, right? And you're an awful singer, but you love to belt it out, like let it go, and you just
yeah.
kind of yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so now you're working where you're working at. Uh, think back. Okay, I like to sing. Okay, so then you go and start looking at voice lessons. So instead of thinking I need to be a pop singer, think about I just want to take voice lessons. I just want to take like 2 months worth of classes with a professional
mhm,
trainer and go from there. See
yeah,
how I can tap into that old passion. See if I still got it. No, nothing you do has, like I said, has to make money. It just has to
right,
make you happy. And so no one expects you to like, oh, I guess Samantha's gonna be a pop star. No,
yeah.
she's gonna go back to her roots and start singing like she used to. So if you can carry a tune and sing your favorite song to your
Yeah,
kid,
yeah,
OMG, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. Your kid, your family would appreciate it because she learns to sing that song. I'm a
right.
horrible singer, by the way. Awful. You see my videos. I'm awful. But I like to sing. When you catch me in the
Yeah,
summer, I'm singing. So
right.
when I got married, I actually hired a professional singer
Ah.
to teach me a song for my wedding. So I serenaded my husband at the wedding. Okay, I want to give a little tip here. Never get drunk on your wedding night. It didn't come out perfect, but I think they got
Oh
the
my
gist of it.
goodness.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he was very touched by that. It was a very momentous,
Yeah,
never unforgettable moments for everyone. Like, oh my
right,
God, Karine did that. That is so unlike her because everyone on the
right,
boat was from the hospital. And they had never seen me like carry a tune, let alone sing and dance and have a choreo with
right.
my bridesmaids, right?
Yeah,
But it was really fun. So that's the
yeah.
whole point. You don't have to do anything to make yourself a famous actor or whatever. It should just be for fun.
Yes, I really love that because a lot of times we hear like go back to your child, but the specific way that you said it kind of like resonated with me in a way that people tell me all the time, like, wow, you're so good at shuffling the cards and like picking the cards out. When I was a kid, one of the things I loved doing was playing with cards. I would just play games with myself, like different versions of solitaire, and I would shuffle the cards all the time, having no idea that this was going to be something I would do in my adult life.
Yeah, yeah. Or be a blackjack dealer.
Right. Absolutely. I had no idea this would be one of my things. And so, yeah, I resonated with that very
I'm sure that
strongly.
once you touch the cards, you're like, oh my God, I love doing it.
Yes.
It's so fun. And not everyone can do it. And
Yes.
you're not making like tons and tons of money, but you're so happy doing it.
Yes.
I don't think
Yes.
you can shuffle cards at your other job, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
been 2 years, right? It's just not something you do like
Right.
on a regular basis. Like you can't shuffle cards at
Right. And I don't go to my weekly poker nights or anything like that. Exactly. And I think one of the last things I would love to ask you, I got this Fool card, This is all about taking leaps of faith, going and doing things where it's uncharted territories. You don't know what's at the other end of it. And how you can just build that courage knowing that everything is always going to work out how it's meant to. I would love to just kind of those last messages as far or encouraging words, whatever comes out. Um, just how to really have that courage to take a leap of faith when it comes to career or achieving your dreams and your passions.
You want to know how to do it with leap of faith. I actually have answers one. And this is part where I'm so much of a pharmacist, it's ridiculous. Um, don't look at leap of faith. Look at every journey you take, every step you take, like that song. Okay, it's literally uh, really a series of benchmarks. Here's what I mean. When you say take a leap of faith, you're really just going, I hope to God, this is going to work.
Yeah.
And that is really something I don't recommend. I mean, when I go
Mhm.
gamble, I don't do this. I hope to God it's going to be like, black on the roulette wheel. I
Yeah.
don't do that. I have
Yeah.
a system. It's like a system in place of crap. So I don't do leap of faith because
Yeah.
it's just too scary to risk your money and your time on
Right.
let's hope on luck.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that if you transition everything or translate it to benchmarks, it's less scary. Now,
Hmm.
here's what I mean. When I started this company, okay, and I was going to branch out with products, that wasn't going to be an extra 5 years of my life and, probably $10,000 of upfront inventory costs that I don't have. So I have to borrow money. Is it
Hmm.
worth it? Like, oh my gosh, what am I can't go. I hope this works. I hope it's believe it works. I can't. Everything
Right.
I do has to be tried, tested. I had a fair number of people who participated in the studies. I had focus groups, marketing, lots of revisions, formula changes.
Hmm. Hmm.
Packaging went through a graphic designer. We all had to agree on everything. So basically, every time
Right.
something was dialed in, check marks, check mark. And so everything I did was a check mark. If it didn't land on the right check mark, I squashed the whole thing. So I had passion fruit as a flavor.
Yeah.
Didn't taste it good. All right, it's all right. Very
Yeah.
sour.
Yeah.
The cost of getting it was okay, but not enough people liked it. Not enough. Maybe like at 100, maybe only like 10 people liked it. They were actually going to buy it. Is it worth it? No. So I
Right.
got rid of that one. So that's
Right.
$2,000 that I had to spend on. So the money that I
Right.
spent on was on things like mango and guava and pineapple that I knew was going to sell through. And that's what we have.
Right.
So
Right.
if you're going to embark on anything, translate to benchmarks into little
Hmm.
pieces of check boxes that you can, if you apply
Yeah.
it to, let's say, dating a guy, right? It's like, I really want to
Hmm.
date this guy. Yeah. Can I
Right.
do this, right? It's like, are you a smoker? Nope. Great. Do you have kids? Nope. Great. Are we compatible chemistry together? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you like me? Yes. Great. If every checkbox is checked, you can keep going with that journey, you know?
Right. Right.
So it's easy. So it's no longer a personal emotional thing. It's a very pragmatic way of
Right.
approaching anything that you're thinking about tossing around. Like, I'm thinking about being a pop star. Can I sing?
Right.
No. We don't go beyond that. We just do something. Yeah, maybe can I act? Oh, I can act. Maybe I'll audition for a local theater, and then
Yeah.
go from there.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
I don't know what you were hoping to hear. It's very uh, analytical, safe.
Yeah.
It's effective because you're not going to lose
Right.
much in your not you don't lose much in this leap of faith thing. Everything
Right.
you make is going to be done because you could do it, or no, it's not done, and here's the reason why.
Right, right. And yeah, and some people definitely like really function that way too, where they like to physically check off boxes too. And yeah,
It's a clinical thing. Every the physician I work with has a checkbox. Okay,
right,
that's how we remember things. We don't go. I hope
right,
this works. I hope this drug works. I hope you make it out of surgery. No, it is
right,
like call a
right.
physician, call the you know,
Absolutely.
order this drug, and even protocols in the hospital.
Right, right. Which really it does matter, what you are applying it to. For example, like me doing these interviews is a little bit different if I take that leap of faith by just doing my initial interview compared to you're creating something that has to do with people's health and their
Yeah,
living and their
that's a little different.
yeah, those ones are a little bit different. Are there any last words you would like to add before we wrap this up?
Very good points. I hope that your
Yeah.
audience has
Yes,
learned one thing out of our conversation, that they can
absolutely.
do anything,
Yeah,
and uh, there is no nothing wrong with trying,
right.
and it's perfectly
Right.
okay to do stuff just do for fun. You
Yeah,
know, if you look
yeah.
at other cultures like Asian cultures like Korea, Japan, China, there's a
Mhm.
lot of K-pop groups, a lot of singers out there, and you know what? They're diamond dancers. They're happy doing it. They don't make much money. They're actually a
Right.
student slash singer, or they're like working at Starbucks and they're like recording songs during the daytime. That is perfectly fine with them. They don't want to be on Billboard. They don't want BTS. They don't want to
Yeah,
be. They're perfectly
yeah.
happy just being a citizen, working, being a student. I had one pharmacy student. He's really funny. He came under my watch, and all the girls fawned over him. Like, and he barely spoke English. He's a Vietnamese guy and a good-looking man. And I was teaching him, and his English wasn't so great. So I had to like talk to him about the drug very slowly. And I'm like,
Mhm,
"Why
mhm.
is all the girls like all excited to be with you? Like they're all in my group." And he's like, "Oh, I just I sing." Oh, and then he whips out his CD. Okay, and I'm like, well, "Excuse me? Oh yeah, you want this one? It's so free." You CD? And it was printed. It was professional. So he's an
Oh,
English
wow.
singer. No joke. Yeah, and I
Oh,
guess he's
wow.
famous. And I was like blowing my mind, like, wow. And you're a pharmacy student? I don't understand the connection. Good for fun. That's
Yeah,
for
yeah,
fun. And I have my own. I record, and he's an agent. But for now, I just
yeah.
want to pass exam and be a pharmacist. I'm like,
Yeah,
man, but you can't pronounce drugs. Okay, I'm like,
yeah. Oh my goodness. That's an amazing story.
you never know who you're gonna talk to. It doesn't matter. So
Yeah,
you could be that
yeah.
person. You could be that actor, the actress, the singer. You don't have,
Yes.
you could be a professional shuffle person. I mean,
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, this was so much fun, but I knew it would be.
oh,
Uh, I, you're always such a character. I was like, okay, my conversation with Karine. So if any of you follow Karine, oh my goodness, you are like dancing in like grocery stores, outside in farmers markets, like
well, you don't do that too, okay? Like when no one's looking.
absolutely. Well, this was a lot of fun. I'm so happy to have you. And maybe we'll do another one of these someday in the future. We'll see.
You tell me, you're the psychic, so
Yeah.